等一下，把它松一松。
哎呀，小超啊，你看我这身体，还有这一个地方是胖的。
恩来，你病得这么重，还有心思开玩笑啊？再试试。哎呀，
不行，小超啊，叫小季把我那布鞋拿来吧。
啊，小季，把总理的布鞋拿来。
是。
好，来。
哎呀，还是不行啊！不行啊！
恩来，实在不成，就穿拖鞋吧。反正西哈努克亲王也知道你病了。
衣着整洁是对个人起码的尊重，马虎的。小季呀，
啊，总理，
你赶紧去给我买双大号的布鞋来。
好。ជំរាបសួរលោកនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រី
亲王殿下，你好
ចា៎
啊！
ជំរាបសួរ
坐，坐，
បាទ
坐。亲王殿下，祝贺你
អ
啊！
បអរសាទរ
终于战斗到了胜
ទី
利
បំផុ
的
ត
一
ប្រយុទ្ធ
天
ប្រឆាំងដល់ថ្ងៃ
可
ទី
以
នេះ
重返家
នឹង
园
អាចត្រឡ
了。
ប់ទៅផ្ទះវិញហើយបាទខ្ញុំមិនភ្លេចទេក្នុងពេលលំបាកបំផុតនៃខ្ញុំនិងប្រទេសរបស់ខ្ញុំលោកប្រធានម៉ៅនិងលោកនិងប្រជាជនចិនបានគ្រប់គ្រងនិងយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ចំពោះខ្ញុំបានចាត់ទុកប្រទេសចិនជាទីប្រទេសកម្ដៅទី2របស់ខ្ញុំហើយ
这都是我们应该做的。我也预祝英雄的柬埔寨人民在亲王殿下的领导下，把国家建设得更加美好富强。
សូមអរគុណលោកនាយករដ្ឋមន្ត្រីខ្ញុំបានរស់នៅក្នុងប្រទេសចិនជាច្រើនឆ្នាំហើយមិនថាមានរឿងធំឬតូចលោកតែងតែយកចិត្តទុកដាក់ចំពោះខ្ញុំកាលឆ្នាំនោះម្ដាយរបស់ខ្ញុំជាធ្ងន់លោកបានជួយយន្តហោះបារាំងមួយយកម្ដាយនៅមន្ទីរពេទ្យក្រុងប៉េកាំងលោកតែងតែគិតពីអ្នកដទៃប៉ុន្តែខ្លួនឯងបែរជាឈឺបែបនេះទៅវិញ
亲王殿下，
ម្ចាស់
不要难过，我很珍惜我和亲王殿下之间的友谊。
មិត្តភាពរវាង
中
ខ្ញុំ
国
និង
人
អង្គ
民和
ជាតិ
柬埔寨人民永
ជា
远
ជនចិន
是
និង
最
ប្រជាជន
好
កម្ពុជា
的朋友。
ជាមិត្តល្អដល់ទីបំផុតនៅក្នុងលោកនេះលោកជាមិត្តដ៏អស្ចារ្យដំបូងរបស់ខ្ញុំ
第一伟大。
主席啊，这段时间，美国的福特总统为了收买人心，赢得大选，在背离上海公报的路上越走越远了。
翻云覆雨，纵横捭阖。为了拉选票，这些西方的政客是不择手段的。
不久前，美国的费城交响乐团访华演出取得了很大的成功，但与之对应的中国艺术团访美演出，却遭到他们百般阻挠，无限期拖延。
既然人家不欢迎咱们，那就不去嘛。
不仅如此啊，福特还派他的副总统洛克菲勒高规格赴台出席蒋介石的葬礼，同意向台湾出售舰艇，还公开允许达赖在纽约设立办事处，这些都是触碰我们底线的。
礼尚往来。 来而不往非礼也。我们也不能装聋作哑，得还以颜色。
我明白了，主席，我马上给黄真发电报。
那个福特是不是还要来中国呀？
福特访华的日程没有变，他不想丢掉中国这张牌。
告诉黄振，让他去看一看尼克松。就说我邀请他，希望他能够近期再次访华。
Sir, they are two Chinese. All they who want to see you.
Some Chinese. Let them in. Ambassador Huang.
你好，总统先生。
Meet you. I didn't expect your visit. Please sit down.
这是老黄特意给你带的礼物。
Can I open it?
当然可以。
Chinese Mao Tai. Thank you very much. We will drink it for the dinner. Please sit down.
今晚我们就可以喝。
Such a pleasure.
总统先生，听说您前段时间刚刚做过手术，不知道恢复得如何？毛主席对您很关心，特让我代为问候。
Oh, thank Chairman Mao on my behalf. It's easy to be forgotten as a previous president, so I'm very glad you remember me and come to see me.
还专门来看我。
毛主席说啊，他很想念您，他认为您是个好总统。水门事件不应该那样搞。
You know, whatever people say, you know, I always consider that the normalization between US and Chinese relationship is the greatest achievement of my presidency. And I can promise you and promise Chairman Mao that all my life I will continue to make great efforts to contribute to the friendly relationship between our two great countries. And today, I can confidently say that in today's world, the United States cannot have a peace world policy without a good relationship with China.
谢谢您，总统先生，我会把您的话报告给毛主席。另外，今天我还带来一个邀请。毛主席希望您能够在身体允许的情况下再次访问中国。
But invite me. I'm no longer president.
毛主席邀请的不是美国总统尼克松，是美国朋友尼克松。他希望能够尽早的见到您，而且还有一些重要的事情要和您商讨。
Thank you, Chairman Mao.
谢谢毛主席。
I will come to China, and I look forward to meeting with him again.
我渴望再见到他。
Such a good news.
这真是个好消息。
国务卿先生，
Director Huang, it's been far too long. Can I offer you a coffee, a tea?
国务卿先生，我这次到你这里来不是来做客的。
No, then what for?
我奉中华人民共和国政府之命，就美国方面出现一系列违背上海公报原则的问题，向美国政府提出严正交涉。
Ambassador Huang, please, just try to explain calmly. Go and have a seat.
第一，美国方面公开宣布无限期推迟中国艺术团访美，这是美国方面首先把两国的矛盾公开化，这是中国政府坚决反对的。第二，美国方面派副总统洛克菲勒到台湾参加蒋介石的葬礼，这会让人们认为。 美国过于看重美国和台湾的关系，美国的这一举动将进一步破坏中美关系。第三，众所周知，西藏是中国的领土，达赖喇嘛一直在从事分裂祖国的活动，但是美国 竟然允许达赖喇嘛在纽约设立从事分裂活动的西藏办事处。
Please, Mr. Rector, if you would just allow me to explain the situation to you.
美国政府一而再、再而三地践踏上海之邦，究竟要使中美关系去向何处？
Mr. Director, I have to tell you that the U.S. government, we reject this representation from the Chinese government, but I will tell you this.
That we promise that we will adhere to the principles of the Shanghai Communique.
你多次去中国，也算是半个中国通。你听说过矛盾的故事？美国政府一方面卖矛，一方面卖盾，岂不是天下奇闻？另外，还有件事情我要通知你：毛泽东主席邀请尼克松再次访问中国。
Mao invited Nixon to go to China.
是的，这是我正式通报贵国政府。国务卿先生，再见。
Yes. I need to see the president immediately.
China's showing such respect for a former U.S. president. What does this mean?
Well, sir, I think that it means that the Chinese, they're dissatisfied with our current China policy.
Well, Doctor, what do you think we should do about this?
Mr. President, letting a former president go to China before the current president does, well, it will undoubtedly exert a very negative global impact on the current government. It will reflect poorly on you as well, sir.
Well, can we advise Nixon not to accept the invitation?
According to my knowledge of President Nixon, sir, he will not be dissuaded. No way. Unless...
Unless what?
Unless you are resolved to give up our relationship with China.
No, no, no. We still need China. Only by using China can we force the Soviets to give us some nuclear concessions and end this deadlock. I have no doubt that China can play a significant role in the relationship between Russia and the U.S.
Undoubtedly, sir, you are correct. However, the fact still remains. We've offended the Chinese.
Well, you need to go to Beijing. See if you can set up an appointment for me before Nixon goes.
Of course, sir, of course. Right away.
博士
Doctor,
你最近跑中国跑得很勤呐。
Well, it was such a pity. It's the last time I was here. I was unable to meet with you, Mr. Chairman. So I've come back.
所以我又来了。
这话不对呀！你这次来是为你们总统打前站的吧？啊
Mr. Chairman, please allow me to apologize for the recent bitterness between our two countries. However, you'll find in actuality, the United States, well, we want nothing from China.
对中国是无所求的。
无所求？我看你说的不完全对呀。如果真像你说的那样，你为什么要来中国啊？我们为什么要接待你和你们的总统呢
Mr. Chairman, our delegation has come to Beijing because I think that you'll find that we share a common adversary and we agree with you on most of the issues.
而且贵国的大部分看法，我们都是赞同的。
靠不住啊！你们呐，就是想踩着我们的肩膀跑莫斯科。现在这个肩膀没用了，你们两任总统连续4年跟他们见面搞缓和。我们是第5啊。
What does he mean by fifth?
什么是第5？
我们排在美苏、西欧、日本之后。不过，博士先生呐，美国如果想从与苏联人的和解中捞点什么，那肯定是危险的。
博士，你们草拟的那份 福特总统在访华之后发表的公报，我看了。坦率地讲，我们不同意。
Mr. Secretary, when Chairman Mao met you the other day, you made it clear that we cannot agree with this communique.
No. We also cannot agree on this communique that you've drafted either.
Since we cannot reach an agreement, we will hold a meeting without communique during President Ford's visit to China.
How is this possible? You're saying that the president is going to visit China without a draft of a joint communique?
Mr. Secretary, nothing is impossible. Mr. Secretary, I'd like to tell you, for President Ford's visit to China, the Chinese government cannot guarantee that he will be warmly welcomed.
So, Doctor, how do you think the Chinese will treat us upon our arrival to Beijing? Do you think that they'll agree to meetings at the highest level?
So the Chinese, well, they're hard to predict. It is said that Zhou Enlai is seriously ill these days and he meets with no one. If Mao agrees to meet with you, sir, it'll be the biggest success during his visit.
Mr.
President,
来中国
have you
还习
gotten
惯吗？
used to the condition here in China?
Actually, this is my second visit to Beijing.
这是我第
And
二次
I
来
feel
北
great.
京，我感觉很好。
哎，博士啊，
Doctor,
你还好
how
吗？
have you been?
Very well, Mr. Chairman, and we are very glad to
我
be
很
here.
高兴来到这里。
听说你们
I
已经
heard
都
that
谈
you
上了，
have already talked with each
呃
other.
都谈了些什么呀？
What did you talk about?
Well, this morning we discussed current international affairs. But, Mr. Chairman, I feel that your country and mine need to make a parallel effort in order to achieve mutually beneficial results.
以争取到相互都有好处的结果。
我们没有本
You
钱，
can't afford that.
净放空
All
炮
empty talks.
What? I don't understand. What's he saying?
我不太明白。
嗯，就是骂娘，
But
我们
we
还
can
有
still
点
call
本
for
钱。
calling names.
总统阁下，
Your Excellency, Mr. President.
你的国务卿
Your Secretary
干涉我们的
of
内
State
政
has
啊
influenced
啊！
in my internal efforts.
他不准我去
He
见
doesn't
上
want me
帝
to。see God.
Well, Mr. Chairman, on this I'm afraid I must
李
insist.
先生，恐怕这一点我要坚持。
上帝的命令你也
He
敢违
even
抗？
dares staff the order of God.
哎，上帝请我
God
去
has invaded，
他不
me,
让我
but
去
he。won't let me go.
Well, Mr. Chairman, I'm afraid that if you were together with God, then the power would be too tremendous.
你们的力量结合起来实在是太大了。
博士阁下是无神论者呀
Doctor，is an
嗯
atheist. He is
他反对
demanding
上
for
帝
relationship
破坏我跟上帝的
with
关
God
系，
by opposing God.
厉害呀！
He is so
我
tough.
是拿他没有办
This
法
is。nothing I can do about him.
哎，听说你要回
I
美国
heard
了，
that
升
you
官
will
了
go。back to the United States and
那
get
个联络处
promotion.
你还要不要啊？
License of state.
Mr. Chairman, I like Beijing very much, but they insist for me to return.
但他们坚持让我回去。
The liaison office is very important to us. We will appoint someone as great as he to take his place.
快找一个和他一样好的人来接手。
啊，哎，这个
How's
人
this
在
guy
你们那儿怎么样？
doing in the US?
We have a very good relationship.
我对关系很好。
这么说，你们还是欢迎他回去？
Of course, Mr. Huang is most welcome.
当然，我们随时都欢迎。
好，
Thank you, Chairman.
毛泽东与福特的会见 虽然气氛轻松友好，但没有取得任何实质性的进展。
Mr. Chairman.
小平，你送一下。王震同志，你留一下。
主席。
我知道你在外面待得太久，想回来，但是中美两国还没有建交，你再去1、2年吧，这桥还不能断。
我知道了，主席。
恩来，你醒了。哎，恩来，这个不能摘。
我有话对你说。
我们说完了话，再把它带上，
福特总统是不是到北京来了？
是。毛主席刚刚会见了他。
这本来是应该我去做的工作呀。
恩来，你不要想的太多了。你现在最主要的工作就是安心治疗，恢复健康。
恢复健康是恢复不了了。我知道，我的生命已经走到了人生的尽头了。小超，回顾我走的路，我的内心是平静的、充实的，只是有一点遗憾。
恩来，你有什么遗憾？
我恐怕看不到中美建交和台湾解放，中国统一了。
恩来，你已经尽力了。
我知道，中华民族的发展复兴需要一代接一代人的不懈的奋发努力。我希望这个接力棒能一直传下去。
恩来，你放心，你期望的接力棒一定会传下去。你要相信，后来的人 一定比我更强，做得更好。
顶看摇落，西闯江滩。树犹如此，人何以堪？
主席，您都3天没吃饭了。 要不您就吃点吧，再这么下去，身体怎么受得了呀？
总理的悼词出来了吗？拿给我看一看。
还是我读给您听吧。
哎，好吧。
今天。 我们怀着极其沉痛的心情，悼念中国共产党的优秀党员、伟大的无产阶级革命家、杰出的共产主义战士、卓越的党和国家领导人、毛主席的战友周恩来同志。
停！加上最亲密3个字。 恩来是我最亲密的战友。
好，我现在就加。今天，我们怀着极其沉痛的心情，悼念中国共产党的优秀党员、伟大的无产阶级革命家。 杰出的共产主义战士，卓越的党和国家领导人。
周恩来作为毛泽东的亲密战友，新中国首任外交部长，为中国的外交事业呕心沥血、鞠躬尽瘁、死而后已。 就在病重住院的最后1年里，大小手术做了13次，但他仍以顽强的毅力坚持工作，先后接待外宾63批次，直至生命的最后一刻。周恩来高尚的品格、儒雅的风范、忘我的工作精神，受到全国人民的爱戴。 感动着所有与他接触的外国政要友人。在他去世后，联合国下半旗致哀，160个国家首脑、政党发来唁电唁函，悼念周恩来这位为世界和平而奋斗的新中国外交奠基者。
Mr. Nixon, what do you think of this plane?
It's very good.
It's the same model as Air Force One, except that it's not as well equipped. But still, it's the latest and the best plane in China, and Chairman Mao instructed us to pick you up and bring you to China on this plane.
We are very grateful to Chairman Mao.
You know, 4 years ago, you crossed the Pacific to visit China and break the ice between China and America. Chairman Mao hasn't forgotten the revolutionary contribution you made to U.S.-China relations.
I am now writing a memoir reflecting the path of my life. And I really believe that My visit to China was the biggest achievement of my life.
Indeed, and China will always welcome you and Mrs. Nixon.
That's very kind.
I'm very, very sorry. 谢谢。
他们的飞机是昨天晚上到的北京，今天的第一件事就是安排来看你。
I still remember the scene when Prime Minister waited for me at the airport 4 years ago in the cold.
本来临终前，知道主席邀请你再次访华，他也很想再见你一面，可惜没能等到。
Prime Minister is one of the wisest and most charismatic leaders among more than 100 heads of government I've had the privilege of meeting in the last 25 years. I wonder where his tombstone lies.
他想知道总理的墓地在哪。
按照恩来生前的遗愿，他的骨灰已经撒到了祖国的江河湖海了。
No. It's indeed unnecessary to build a monument for him. Premier Zhou's legacy is that he helped end the darkness of the world.
尼克松说，总理最大的遗产就是他帮助这个世界结束了黑暗。
我们第一次见面到现在有4年了吧？
Yes, 4 full years. Last time I came, I was the U.S. president. But this time...
不说这些，因为我们是朋友啊。来，我们就一茶代酒吧。
Mr. Chairman,
主席先生，
I read one of your new poem
我
lately.
读了您最近发表的一首诗。
是哪一首啊？
Nothing is difficult for the man who
世
tries.
上无难事，只要肯登攀。
哦，那是我10年前去井冈山的时候写的。
When I returned to Jinggang Mountain,
可上9天蓝月，
we can
可
cast
下
the
5
moon into
洋
the
捉
sky
鳖，
and see
谈
the
笑
turtles deep down
凯
in
歌
the
怀。
five seas. Nothing
世上无难事，只要肯登攀。
if we work hard.
这2句诗也适用于中美关系。
Yeah. I know that Mr. Chairman is dissatisfied with the slow normalization of relations between our two countries.
缓慢进程是不满意的。
好事多磨呀。 这世上任何事情都不会一蹴而就的。
Obviously, but we need to continue to cooperate with each other. We must pursue peace, not only between our two countries, but for all nations in the world.
天下大事，合久必分，分久必合。我们的事业是正义的，正义的事业是任何敌人也攻不破的。我们的目的一定要达到，我们的目的就一定能够达到。我们新中国的外交一定要高扬中华民族的精神旗帜，坚持独立自主，以崭新的面貌出现在世界人民面前呢。外交是一种与战争相对立的国务行动。战争是以武器、鲜血进行的，外交是以笔墨、口舌进行的。朝鲜战场，寇能往，我亦能往。严厉谴责美国第7舰队进入台湾海峡，再一次重申，台湾属于中国，我们一定要解放台湾。我不需要保护伞。我们要在国际舞台上有话语权，就必须发展核武器，打破超级大国的核垄断。外交的核心是国家利益，有了实力才有朋友，朋友多了就能增加实力，团结就是力量嘛。
中国代表团来这里开会，是求团结来的，不是来吵架的。坦赞提出，完全是出于道义上的支持。我们绝不干涉受援国的内政，也不指望从他们那里获得什么既得利益。当然，我们的帮助是互相的。你们非洲独立的国家越多，经济越发展，对我们也是一种支持。
76 in favor, 35 opposed. And 17 abstentions. The motion has passed.
革命尚未成功，同志仍需努力。让我们遵循着中山先生的遗愿，为新中国的民主富强，自立于世界民族之林，携手同行。
世界上，我心不走过变幻的风云里，越发巍峨。唯有那么一天，环球同此凉热，云水间响彻我